So this is for integrated one. It is the semester 2 final review, classwork number 2. This is the unit 4 section on statistics. So these are the sentence frames that we are going to be using. This one is describe the scatter plot. This one is interpret the slope. Interpret the y-intercept and interpret the correlation coefficient. Here are some definitions. Okay, scatter plot, LSRL, which is our least square regressions line, which is our line of best fit. Here's some information on how to find it, how to find the correlation coefficient, facts about your correlation coefficient, which we talked about this year, where it has to be in between -1 and 1. If it's 1 is a perfect straight line, a perfect line in a positive direction, a positive line that all the points are on it. And then if it's a -1, it's a perfect line, but it's in the negative direction. And a correlation of 0 means there's no correlation. Prediction is when you use your equation to substitute in a value to find. And your residual is basically how far off you are from your data. How we find it is we take our actual minus our predicted. That's what we do. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this data into our calculator. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to press the stat button. And we're going to go to edit. And I have the data in here right now. But if I wanted to get rid of the data, if you had data in your calculator, you would hit clear and delete all that data. So I would hit clear. You see all that data is gone, and then I'd hit return. Okay, and I'm using the clear button, not the delete. Delete will actually delete the column, and you won't have an L1 column anymore. Okay, so I am just going to keep my data in here. Okay, so I'm going to go to stat, edit. Again, you just add your data in here, and you want to make sure that when you're doing this, your points, this is a 62,60. So 62,60, 63,60, 63,60. The points have to line up. Then what we're going to do is we are going to try to come up with a line of best fit. And you might want a correlation coefficient also. Now to get your correlation coefficient, you're going to press mode. You're going to arrow down and make sure that your stat diagnostic is on. So mine is on, but yours might have been off. If it's reset, it will be off automatically. So you need to come here and hit it on. Okay, that's going to give you your correlation coefficient. Now, after you put your data in, again, stat, edit, and then you're going to enter your data into your L1 and your L2. Usually I'll just try to get out of that screen, get to a blank screen so I don't interfere with my data. Press stat, calculate. We want number 4, linear regression. Okay, so I'm going to hit 4. I want my L1 to be my X's, my L2 to be my Y's. I'm going to come here, and if you want to store it so that you can see it on your graph, what you're going to do when you get to store a regression equation, you're going to press the green alpha button and trace for F4. And then we're going to just pick Y1. Okay, it's going to store it in Y1 for us. I'm going to hit calculate, and it's going to give me my line of best fit. Now it also gave me my R squared. So let me just write my line of best fit down for letter C, where it says determine your LSRL. So this is going to be, whoops, let me get out of highlight. This is going to be Y equal, and my A, it says AX. So my A is going to be 0.42, let's say, we'll give 2 numbers after the decimal, X, plus my B, which is 35.15. So that would be my equation. Now I'm just going to jot down my R here. That's my correlation coefficient. So that was 0.6489. So really that's going to push up to a 0.649. Okay. Now, if I want to see the graph of this on my calculator, I'm going to press second and Y equal for stat plot. Okay. And so if your stat plot's not on, you want to turn it on. So I'm going to press number 1, mine's on. We want it on a scatter plot. Okay. This one would be a histogram. That's not what we want. That would be 1 variable. Ours is 2 variables. We have X and Y. These are box plots, modified box plot, regular box plot. Again, neither one of those. We want the scatter plot, and we want our L1 to be our X's and our L2 to be our Y's. Now to see this, what we're going to do is we're going to press the zoom button, and then we're going to come here to number 9, zoom stat. And then you can see your scatter plot along with your line. Now you can see that the data is following it, but the data is not as close as it could be because, again, our R, the closer it is to 1, the more accurate it is. So it's closer to 1 than 0, but I would say it's not super strong. Okay, it's somewhat strong. So let us graph these points. Now, if I'm going to graph these points, I am going to I'm going to plot it not from my graphing calculator, but I'm going to plot it from the data, from the table. I'm just going to come here to the G for a Google search. That was add media. I'm just going to put blank graph. And I'm just going to pick one of them. So let's say I get this one here. And I insert this, make it a little bigger. And when I'm plotting my data, if I look at my max and my min for my Y, my minimum, it looks like my minimum is a 62. And it looks like my maximum, looks like 77s are my max. I don't see anything above that, so 77. In the other column, my minimum looks like a 60. And my maximum, let's see, it looks like a 70. Okay, so I am going to scale the graph. Okay, so this is going to be my x-axis, which is the height of the daughter. Okay, and this is going to be the y-axis, which is going to be the the x-axis, which is the height of the father. So this is father's height, and we're in inches. And this other side here is going to be the daughter's height. And that's in inches also. Okay, so for my x-axis, I need to get from 62 to 77. So let's see, let's say that this is 60, 2, 4, 6, 8. No, maybe we can, let's see if we can go by ones. 60, 61, 62. 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Let's see. 66, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And I'll do the same for the other axis. So this would be 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to do my scatter plot. Let me get up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to plot the points. So I'll plot a couple and then I will pause the video. You plot. I'm going to plot the rest of mine. So 62, 60. So 62, 1, 2, 60. 63, 60. 65, 60, and so forth. So you plot yours and I'm going to plot mine. So there is my scatter plot. Now let's also draw our line in here. So to draw the line in, I'm going to choose 2 points to plot. So let's choose 2 X values that are not right next to each other, but are on my graph. So let's say I'm going to do 64. Let's see what happens at 64. So what I can do on this, I can come to the calculate, which means I'm going to hit second and calculate. I'm going to put number 1 value, and I'm going to put in a 64. And it's going to show me that on my line, it's a 62. So I'm going to do this in a different color. I'm going to plot 64, 62. Okay. And I'm going to do second and again, the calculate for trace and number 1 value. And let's do something further away. Let's say I do like a 70. Let's say I do 78. I'm just trying to do something I don't have another value at. So let's say I do 78. Let's see what happens. So 78, I'm at about a 68. So 78, I'm at about a 68. So let's just double check 65, 66, 67, 68. So those 2 points. Now I'm going to draw a line through those 2 points. I'm going to move my line. I was a little off. Don't want to move my graph. Want to move my line. So that is my line of best fit. Okay. So it says, describe how the variables height of father and height of woman are related. So that is where we are going to want to describe the scatter plot. So if I come back to this page, describe the scatter plot. Okay, so there is and we're going to say strong or weak, positive or negative, linear or non-linear relationship between, and we're going to say what the X is and what the Y is. So for this, this is going to be let me type it in. So I am going to say there is a strong, I'm going to say somewhat strong, because it's a 0.6. It's on the stronger than weaker side, but I'm going to say somewhat strong. Positive linear relationship between And the x-axis represents the height of the father in inches between the, I'll say a father's height in inches and his daughter's height in inches. And that's all that they're asking us for on this one. So that's the end of this video.